in this video, we are going to talk about repurposing your content. In particular, repurposing a Teachers Pay Teachers product that you've made. What else can you do with it? We are looking at repurposing maybe a cover or an image that you made by when you created that product and using it for social media. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the Teachers Pay Teachers sale. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Lorianne, and if you are new or returning, welcome. Here at It's All Primary, we talk about teacher side hustles. And the Teachers Pay Teachers sale is over. There's always another one, right? I was going to actually film this video yesterday in the midst of the Teachers Pay Teachers sale, and I thought, no, let's just wait. So it's over, and before I say anything more, I made a mistake. I thought I had sold 3 products. I knew what the products were, but I thought I sold 2 of one and 1 of another. I was wrong. I sold 1 of one and 1 of another, so I sold 2 products last year at the TPT Back to School sale. This year I sold 2 products at the Back to School TPT sale. A little bit higher earnings, which is always good, but the overall consensus was that sales were down. Now, in saying that, I don't know if you are on Boom Learning's newsletter or email list. They sent out an email talking about the market being slow. I thought that was fascinating. I wish Teachers Pay Teachers would make some sort of comment about that too, if that is the case for them as well. But if Boom Learning is talking about how the market is slow, there's a good chance that Teachers Pay Teachers are having a slower market as well. Don't know 100% for sure, but that was very telling to me. And I got that email Monday. I think it was Monday. So I went into the sale thinking it's slow. Now what do? If you have a TPT data tracker of some sort, whether it be a planner, whether it be a Google spreadsheet, whether it be a Excel spreadsheet. I have an Excel spreadsheet that I'm trying to move over into a Google spreadsheet. Write things down now. So not only the sales that you made, look at their conversion rates on those products. Look at how many views you got during the sale, because you probably got some views, and maybe other products were viewed but they weren't sold, right? So write those numbers down, and then somewhere in your notes or a section of your data tracker, write down all the things that you did prior to the sale or during the sale that would have marketed your products. Maybe you did nothing. So then your results are the result of the market. But we want your results to be the result of your efforts. So what did you do? Did you send out an email to your email list? Did you post anything on Instagram? Did you make a reel? Did you put anything on Facebook? Did you talk to friends and families? Right? What did you do? Or were you the, not, I want to say victim, but you were, your sales were at the mercy of whatever Teachers Pay Teachers market was. So think about what you did and just write it down, because there is a high chance that the TPT Boost sale, I think they called it a back to school boost last year. Can't remember. So the back to school sale was the 3rd and the 4th. Let's do 2 weeks from the 3rd. So that's the 17th. So because they tend to do sales on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I'm going to have to look at the actual facts before I guess these things. Anyways, there's a good chance that there's another sale coming. What will you do now in the next 2 weeks to help for that? Or, again, are you going to do nothing and just see what happens? Because you can probably get some decent sales if you do something, right? And if this is your first sale, great, because during the back to school sale, you might have got some views. So again, if you don't have a TPT tracker, data tracker, get one. If you need one, I might have one ready. I'm creating one right now. I'm trying to get graphs in it and everything like that. I don't know whether it's going to be done in time by the end of the month. It's something I'm working on, but it's kind of down the list. If you want a TPT data tracker, let me know whether you want one in Excel or Google. And if it's in Excel, I can refer you to two people that sell them on Teachers Pay Teachers, and then you could get it at the next sale. They're not very many, very much. I think they're like $3-4. If you're looking for a data tracker, you need something to track your sales, your earnings, your conversion rates, your top products for the month. I think views are important. I think you could track your followers, because they're not the same. Followers on Teachers Pay Teachers are not quite the same as followers on Instagram. People don't just unfollow on TPT the way they do on Instagram. So those are things that you want your data tracker to do. You might also want to track how many products you made per month. You can go on to Bearwood Labs, and they have a product, not a product descriptor, product tool of some sort that actually tracks not all that stuff. They track your products and the days they were uploaded, things like that. That information is not necessarily going to help you with your sales, but it might be just good for you to know these things. How many products are you uploading every month? Things like that. Again, if you got good sales, congratulations. If you got some views, congratulations. Like I said, the market was slow. Because the market was slow, your product selling might have been slow. It was the same for me. If you want to know what I did, I sent out email to my email list, not my Teacher Side Hustle list. I sent it just to my email list that is for products. I sent an email out. I did a post on IG. I did a post on Facebook. I also did a reel. Yes, I actually posted the reel on day 2 of the sale. And that product didn't sell. That's okay. Interesting enough, the 2 products that sold were both back to school type products. They were both classroom decor. I also had 2 boom card sales on Tuesday, I think it was. So I had 4 sales between the 2 platforms. It's fine. We're going to work on it, but that's what I mean. Get out some tracking and make some notes in order to prepare yourself maybe even better for the next sale. Okay? If you got questions about that, pop them down below, and I'm happy to keep discussing this. We can talk about possible marketing strategies. I will share in the next video coming, which I'll share at the end, Pinterest. I'll talk about some strategies you can do there. Okay? Oh yeah, and I also did a idea pin on one of my products. That one didn't sell either. It's hilarious. Anyways, that's fine. Okay, let's talk repurposing your products. One of the things that I was spending some time with my data, and I was looking at products that I made last year in July. I thought, what can I do to repurpose those products this year? So I took, and I'm going to show you this. I went into Teachers Pay Teachers. I looked at the dates of actually September last year, and what was my highest selling product and the highest conversion rate on a product. And I looked at those, and I wrote my list down and decided, okay, I'm going to repurpose these somehow. So when you are repurposing, there's 2 ways. First of all, I never heard of repurposing. Maybe I had heard of it, but I was in the Teachers Pay Teachers seller forum back in the springtime, because I was talking to a gal who had made over 200 products in 1 year, and I'm like, whoa, how did you get that? And she teaches full-time. How did you make that many products? And she said she repurposes, and I'm like, okay, can you elaborate on this a little bit more? So she talked about when she makes something in PowerPoint, then she turns around and uses that same document and makes it a set of Google Slides. She makes it boom cards. She makes task cards. She tries to think of a game that she could, a PowerPoint game that she could create. I had never, up until like the last couple of weeks, I have never made a PowerPoint game. I took a mini class. I've learned to do it. I've already made one. It's not finished, but it's almost finished. But I can see what she was saying now, looking back, right? At the time, I'm like, what? But repurposing can either be done at the time that you're making that product, or like I'm going to show you now, taking a good selling product and how do we repurpose it to make future products with it. The other way is by taking an image that you might have taken a photo of your product and using it for social media. So you needed it for a thumbnail in Teachers Pay Teachers, but now you can use it for making something in Instagram or Pinterest or wherever you choose to market, maybe even your emails, your website, things like that. So it's all about repurposing that way. Just as an aside, the votes again for what kind of content you want to see created, again, so close, the numbers. So what I'm going to do, in keeping with this idea of repurposing, I'm going to make some boom cards with a repurposed, so I'm repurposing a product from last year, and I'm going to make boom cards with it because I didn't make boom cards with it last year. And also I'm going to make some Google Slides, slightly different Google Slides with that same product. So you're actually going to see the product. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it a little bit when we get to the computer. Okay. I'm hoping we're supposed to get rain this week. It's in the 30s. I can't remember what 30s, 85, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, consistently. It's been a long time since we've had rain. Our family went out together, all 11 of us, to a restaurant for the first time. It was amazing. And I went to a movie for the first time in a year, and it feels like a year and a half. I don't even know when the last time I went to a movie. So it was very quiet, but that's okay. Sorry, I digress. Anyways, let's turn the camera around and I will show you where you can start with your data. Well, here I am in my dashboard for today. And what I want to do is I want to go to September of 2020. So I'm going to change the date custom, and then I'm going to go all the way back to September. And this was the first month I broke $50. I was thrilled. But what I want to do is not go to earnings, is I want to go to conversions and look at my biggest products. And then I'm going to go into my entire store and it'll give me the highest conversions in order. So I'm going to look at the top 10. And I have actually already recorded these on my TPT Data sheet, but I'm going to look at these, and I mean, these numbers are a little bit ridiculous. Somewhere between 2 and 5% is normal. You don't want 2. 2 is a little bit on the low side. Ideally 5% if you have products with over 400 to 500 views. But these are my top 10. I don't even know if I had 10 products back then. I did, just barely. I have 11 here because that's freebie, that's a freebie, that's a freebie, that's a freebie, that's a freebie actually, that's a freebie, that's a freebie, and some of those weren't even created yet. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to go look at this. This was created in PowerPoint. So my addition to 20, I'm going to look for that PowerPoint. I'm going to look at the top 3 here. My number sense 0 to 20 was also created in PowerPoint, and my number sense 10 to 120 was created in PowerPoint. Actually, what I think I'll do is I will show you this one and I'll show you this one, number 6. They're all, it's kind of a tie, but I know I can easily find this product here. And I'll show you this one with Canva. So I'll do this one in PowerPoint and I'll do this one in Canva. This one was also created in PowerPoint, but I'll show you the social media aspect of this one, teaching time to the half hour. Okay, so let's move on to PowerPoint. So this last year was my #1 selling product. It was completely undersold because I was desperate for sales last year when I started. And so this initially started off as, I think it was 75, somewhere between 50 and 75 slides, and it's now over 100. But I sold it for $1 because, again, I just wanted sales. And that's why that conversion rate of 36% was so high. I sometimes made 65 cents off this product. And part of that was just, it hurt. if I'm honest, that hurt a lot. It's now $3, which is under price, but considering I just wanted sales, I thought, I don't care. And that's sometimes these decisions we make. It still has a good conversion rate, but it's not 34% anymore. Regardless, there are different ways that I can repurpose this. One, I could repurpose this to create boom cards. So the slides are already here. I could put that in there. I could repurpose this to be task cards, which is something I'm considering doing because, again, they're already made. I just have to resize them and print, and then they would be a PDF ready to go. I could change the colors and the shapes here and fire off another 50 of them, maybe do them seasonally. So that is something that I think that I would consider doing. I did make some during Valentine's Day, so they have the heart themes, and that sold in February. So I could make this a seasonal product. And then again, I can either create this as a set of task cards, I can create these as boom cards, I can create these as another set of Google Slides. In fact, I will probably do all three because that is the point of being effective with your time. One of the things that I was asking in the Teacher Seller Forum, this gal who had made 200 products, I think it was, in 1 year, I said to her, how did you do this so fast? She said she repurposed content. So she would create one PowerPoint and then make Google Slides, boom cards, task cards, a PDF. You could probably throw this in easel now. So you had all these different things. So right there, I just said easel. I didn't even think of that initially. So that is what repurposing is all about, is taking one product and making it into many different products. I can make this into something smaller. I can make this, I could put 2 on a page, 3 on a page, 4 on a page. You can make those task cards. This is one of the first 10 products I made. And it's very simple, but there are teachers out there that like simplicity. So that is repurposing products. Another way you can repurpose is with social media. And what I do is I often create my covers. You can see some of them already here, whether they be for YouTube, Boom, you can see some Boom cards, my PDFs, covers for TPT, but I also often take these covers and I'll repurpose them into pins. And that has worked really well for me. And what I will end up doing, let me just find one here. This actually was a good seller in the springtime. So this is my cover for my boom cards. But then what I did is I went up to resize, and it has Pinterest pin. And so I resized it. So I used everything here. Let me just go back and show you that one. And here it is as a pin. So let me just show you this one. So nothing fancy. This took me minutes to do. All I did was, as you can see, I just put the image on a tilt, and then I added some animated GIFs that are in the elements here in Canva, and now this becomes a video pin, which is recognized by Pinterest and tends to get more views than it would as a static pin. But I could have done this as a static pin. I could have removed these, right? And I could have posted that just like that. But instead, now I've lost it. I go up to Canva here, and I'm going to show you this a little bit more when I do pins. But I'll do $, and these little dots up here. I'm going to ask for an animated, and there it is right there. So then I just pop that right up there. And then I had this one down here. And those little images, again, just make this now a Pinterest pin. I could probably use the boom card cover and put it in my website. So I could talk about financial literacy in my blog, and then I could use one of these and post it there. One of the things I also did is I created a carousel for Instagram. And a carousel is just a series of images. I'll show you one that I did recently. So this is one of my top 10 selling products from about November to the spring. And here is the cover of the TPT product. But what I did was I created the thumbnails right underneath this. So I'm going to scroll down. So there are my thumbnails for the TPT product. But now what I also can do with this, I can do a couple things. The one thing I can do is I can use this for Instagram. Nowadays, you can't just put a copy like this and leave it. Most people will scroll. However, if you create on Instagram a carousel, which would be this slide, this slide, this slide, this slide, now the chances of someone stopping to scroll to look at it, they may be inclined to look at it. I could turn around and add music as well on it. I could turn it into a short reel, though the sizing is off. But by having these 4 slides now, I have the potential of making video pins, an idea pin, a carousel on Instagram, a reel. I could even make a mini IG or story by adding video to this. So that's what repurposing is all about. It saves you an awful lot of time, and you're not having to reinvent the wheel with all of this. Let me show you another way I repurposed this, is that I wrote about it on my website. So if I go over to itsallprimary.com, here is a blog post on telling time to the half hour. And I actually made a second set of slides, and there's a quick link to them on TPT, and made some pictures. And then here is another pin that I created off them. And if you notice, the colors are a little bit different. I changed the face colors just again to make it different. Here you have the link to TPT. The pin is there. I also made a pin that looks very similar to this. And if I go over to Pinterest, this one right here, so this is a half hour, and as you can see, I've got these in just different colors. So make a quick change to the covers. All I'm doing is I'm changing the inside here and sometimes the color up top, but making just simple adjustments to create the pins for it. So here's what I was talking about with Instagram. So instead of just posting this picture, I actually have it as a carousel. Again, made it for TPT, was able to repurpose it and put it straight into Instagram. And then when I'm in here, I can click this little paper airplane or arrow, and now it's on my stories as well. Repurpose. Okay, as I said, if you are wanting more information on data, data tracking, particularly for Teachers Pay Teachers, put a comment down below. I am thinking of doing a video just on data tracking, and by then hopefully I will actually have a TPT data tracker for you if you would like it. I might sell it, I haven't decided yet. One of the things that I like about looking at older products, again, I mean, don't look at them too seriously, because remember, those might have been your first products. I mean, I look at them going, wow, okay, right? We got some work to do, but that's okay. That means you're growing, right? So don't feel like you want to archive all of them. Don't archive them. Don't delete. First of all, don't delete your products off TPT, because if someone has sold them, then they can legitimately ask for a refund if you delete the product. Even if they've downloaded it, you can, because that product, as far as I know, is supposed to be available to them at any time. Archive it, then they can still get access to it, but don't delete it, okay? Probably at the time of making that product, didn't have some ideas of what else you could do with it. Now you might by revisiting it. So revisit some of your products and see if you can come up with other ways of using it, especially if that product is selling well. Don't focus on the ones that are not selling well. I mean, you can eventually look at those, but really focus on the ones that are selling well. Because if they are selling well, if you create a product similar to them, there's a good chance they're going to sell well too, right? Yeah, okay. So next video is actually on Pinterest, and I'm going to show you how to make video pins, idea pins. You can still make static pins. They just don't get as many impressions, but you can still make static pins. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good to have variety. I'll show you a little bit how I use Tailwind as a scheduler. I really enjoy it. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do with the next video, and it will be posted Tuesday because it's already started. The initial filming stuff has already been started. In fact, I might even do some more after filming this video. We'll see. Then the following 2 videos are based on your votes. So there will be a product creation. I haven't decided whether it's going to be a Google slide or the Boom. Probably the Google slide, because I am working on a product right now that I could probably film. So I could do that. So it's probably going to be Google Slides, and then it's going to be a TPT audit. And in the PowerPoint video, I will give instructions that if you are interested in getting your store audited, I'm only going to choose 3, and I've already got a small little list happening. But if you would like your name on that list, I'm going to set up a little bit of a mini questionnaire, just because I want to have people from different how many years they've been on and their niches. I want them to be different so that we can reach more people with ideas. Okay. All right. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe, taking care of one another, be kind to one another, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.